Cut the 4 packing straps on the cardboard box. Now, let's open the box and check out the X15 accessories. Now, I'll need an assistant to help lift the X15 motorcycle out of the packaging carton. Carefully cut the zip ties securing the front fork, remove the front fork, and set it aside for later use. Cut the zip ties securing the other side, remove the other front fork, and set it aside for later use. Remove the upper and lower triple clamp assembly fixed to the iron bracket and set it aside for later use. Remove the packing zip ties securing the head tube. Cut the zip ties securing the head tube, then use a 14mm socket to remove all fixing bolts of the packaging bracket. Cut the zip ties securing the front wheel assembly to the iron bracket. Carefully remove the packaging iron bracket. Cut the last remaining packaging zip ties securing the front wheel assembly. Then, remove the front wheel assembly for later use. Remove the body protective film and bubble wrap covering the entire vehicle body. Next, remove the front fender fixed to the rear wheel and set it aside for later use. Then, take off the number plate on the head tube and set it aside. Remove the accessory box under the head tube and set it aside for later use. Snip off the 4 cable ties that fasten the vehicle body on both left and right sides. Snip off the zip tie that fixes the front brake master cylinder. Take it off and set it aside as a spare. Ask an assistant to help lift the vehicle onto the repair stand for subsequent installation work. Cut the zip ties securing the handlebar, then remove the handlebar. Remove all zip ties on the right side of the vehicle body, take off the pearl cotton, and tear off the bubble wrap covering the rear brake caliper. Similarly, remove the zip ties and pearl cotton on the left side of the swing arm. Unpack the accessory packaging carton, remove all accessories inside, and prepare to start the vehicle installation. Take out the butter pack. Apply butter evenly to the upper and lower steel cups of the head tube, and prepare for the installation of the upper and lower connecting plate assembly. Install the upper and lower triple clamp assembly. Use an M27 open-end wrench to loosen and remove the upper triple clamp lock nut, then remove the upper triple clamp. Use an M3 8M42 hook spanner wrench to loosen the upper dust cover, then unscrew and remove it. Place the lower bearing on the steel cup at the top of the head tube. Then pass the steering stem through the head tube from below and screw on the dust cover. Finally, use an M38-42 hook wrench to tighten the upper dust cover. After tightening, rotate the lower triple clamp to check if the steering is smooth. Pass the middle mounting hole of the upper triple clamp through the reverse column, then tighten the upper triple clamp lock nut. Organize the wiring harnesses and place the left and right frame wiring harnesses on the lower triple clamp, respectively. Install the front, left, right shock absorbers. Align the L mark on the front left shock absorber with the L mark on the lower triple clamp. Insert the front left shock absorber into the mounting holes of the lower triple clamp and upper triple clamp. After installation, use an M6 hex wrench to tighten the upper triple clamp bolts. Install the front right shock absorber in the same way as the left. Tighten the upper triple clamp bolts with an M6 hex wrench. Use an M29 open-end wrench or adjustable wrench to tighten the upper triple clamp lock nut. Then use an M6 hex wrench to tighten the 2 fastening bolts on the lower triple clamp. Install the upper pressure block and handlebar. Place the handlebar into the mounting slot of the lower clamp. Remove the protective film before installation to avoid scratching the handlebar. This step is not demonstrated here. Place the upper clamp onto the lower clamp, then hand tighten the bolts into the mounting holes. Adjust the handlebar angle, then tighten the handlebar using an M6 hex wrench. Install the front fender. Use an M8 socket to remove the 3 mounting bolts of the front fender. Align the mounting holes of the front fender with those on the lower triple clamp. Use an M8 socket to thread the 3 bolts into the lower triple clamp, then tighten them with an electric wrench. Install the number plate. Use an M10 open and an M8 socket to remove the mounting bolts and nuts from the number plate bracket. Insert the positioning pins under the number plate into the positioning holes of the front fender. Install the mounting bolts through the number plate and bracket. Then insert the nuts from behind the shock absorber to align with the bolts and tighten the number plate. Remove the bubble bag protecting the handlebar grip. Install the front brake master cylinder assembly. Use an M4 hex wrench to loosen and remove the 2 mounting bolts from the clamp, then take off the clamp. Install the brake lever on the right side of the handlebar at the throttle mount. Make sure the up mark and the triangle on the clamp are facing upward. Hand tighten the 2 bolts first, then use an M4 hex wrench to secure the clamp. Install the front wheel rim assembly. Remove the front wheel axle nut, take out the spacer, insert it through the bottom of the right front shock absorber, then install the short front wheel spacer onto the front wheel axle. Lift the front wheel and insert the front wheel axle through the front wheel hub. Put the longer front wheel spacer onto the front wheel axle, then pass the front wheel axle through the bottom of the left front shock absorber and tighten the front wheel axle nut. Finally, use an M14 socket wrench to hold the front wheel axle, and use an M17 socket wrench to tighten the front wheel axle nut, ensuring it is securely fastened. Remove the limit plate from the front brake caliper. Use an M8 socket to remove the 2 mounting bolts on the brake bracket. First, place the front brake hose into the groove at the back of the number plate. Align the gap of the brake pads with the brake disc and install the brake caliper onto the brake disc. Then use the removed mounting bolts to secure the front brake caliper to the bottom of the front shock absorber. Then use an M8 socket to tighten it securely. Then use an M6 socket to loosen the bolt of the front brake hose clamp. Pry open the 2 halves of the hose clamp, insert the front brake hose into it, push down the rubber sleeve on the hose, and place it into the clamp. Finally, tighten the bolt again securely. Install the rear shock absorber. Loosen the nut on the mounting bolt, then lift the rear wheel to align the rear shock mounting hole with the one on the swing arm. Insert the mounting bolt from the left side. Screw on the nut. Hold the rear mounting bolt with an M13 open-end wrench. Then tighten it with an M14 socket. Install the rear brake pump. Remove the limit plate between the brake pads. Use an M10 socket to remove the 2 mounting bolts on the rear brake bracket. Install the brake disc between the 2 brake pads. Then, use an M10 socket to secure the rear brake caliper to the brake mount on the rear swing arm. Clip the rear brake hose into the rear brake hose clamp to complete the rear brake installation. Install the gear shift lever. Use an M10 open-end wrench to remove the mounting bolt from the gear shift lever. Install the gear shift lever slightly downward onto the gear shift shaft of the engine. Insert the bolt into the gear shift lever from bottom to top, then tighten it with an M10 open-end wrench. Install the foot pegs. Straighten the cotta pin on the foot peg, then remove the cotta pin and the foot peg pin. Align the mounting holes of the foot peg with those of the foot peg bracket. Insert the foot peg pin from front to back through the mounting holes. Then insert the cotter pin into the pinhole and bend it with needle nose pliers. The right foot peg is installed in the same way as the left one. Install the side stand. Remove the hex bolt for installing the side stand. Fit the side stand into the bracket, align the mounting holes, then screw in the hex bolt. Then tighten the bolt with an M17 socket. Use a screwdriver or hex wrench to hook the spring into the groove on the side stand positioning post. Cut the zip tie on the waste pipe. Remove the clamp and plug from the engine waste pipe port. Use needle nose pliers to connect the waste pipe to the engine port, then fasten the clamp. Install the fuel tank cap and breather hose. Remove the transparent tape from the fuel filler neck. Tighten the fuel tank cap clockwise, then insert the breather hose into the breather hole on the fuel tank cap. Install the chest protector cover and chest protector foam. Thread the chest protector cover under the Velcro. Then place the chest protector foam on top. Wrap the cover around the foam and secure it with the Velcro. The entire vehicle assembly is complete.